built on relationships, focused on people, and rooted in the community. Welcome to the Build Blue podcast. Tune in for weekly episodes featuring guests who are building a better tomorrow. You'll hear inspiring stories from industry leaders, business owners, community partners, and our team members. The Build Blue podcast, where construction comes to life. An Apex Construction Group production. Welcome to the Build Blue podcast. My name is Jess Blaze with Apex Construction Group, and we are here with Kaaren Grabianowski from the Minnesota River Builders, and we're going to be talking about Raw Fusion Fashion Show today. I'm so excited for this conversation.
Yes, this is our 11th time doing Raw Fusion, and we're very excited for this year's theme. It's coming up May 12th, so it's just around the corner.
Yeah, we're going to get into the history of Raw Fusion, what it is for people who maybe are new to the community or have never attended before. But we have to start by learning a little bit more about you, Kaaren.
Sure.
So we start all of our podcasts with our Apex Icebreaker. So we want to know, what was your very first job?
So career job or first job?
First job ever.
Well, let's see. Probably rock picking in the field. Outside of St. James for my friend's uncle was probably my first job ever, maybe babysitting, but my first job going to collect a paycheck really was Hardee's in St. James, and I worked the drive-through and front counter area.
That's amazing. Yeah. Cinnamon raisin biscuits.
Yes.
The best.
Yep. And that was back when the little raisin guys were really popular.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, my mom saved my suspenders, my California raisins.
The California
suspenders.
Raisins.
Yeah, so like those are tucked away in a bin somewhere in my attic, but yeah.
I love it. I had a collection of the little, what were they made out of? Rubber? Or,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was like unlocked a core memory.
Yeah. Does that age me?
No, it doesn't. Let's hear a little bit more about your background and
Sure.
Your role at Minnesota River Builders.
Sure. So, I'm a graduate of MSU and then never really left the community. So my first career job was at the Greater Mankato Area United Way. And pretty much throughout most of my career, I've worked in the nonprofit sector, working on fundraising and events. So that's kind of been my career of 30 years, but also have event planning business and work with weddings and community events through that. And then my role at the Minnesota River Builders is that I'm the executive director, and I'm part-time there. I work on a number of events for them throughout the year. That's a lot of my job, but also just making sure we're supporting our builders and all of our associate members, and making sure that we're promoting them and promoting the construction industry. So that's a big part of my job at the Minnesota River Builders. And then we're involved with state and national associations as well. So that gives us a little more credibility and also gives us, our members, more services from the national and state level. And then in addition to that, I will also work part-time at Rickway Carpet selling window covering. So I've kind of got my hands in a little bit of everything, but I love it.
Wear a lot of hats. And newly instituted is the Commercial Council with Minnesota River Builders, which I know we're involved with here at Apex, and It's been great to get a group of commercial builders and subcontractors together and talk about that side of the construction industry.
Yes, so we just started that last fall, so it's fairly new, but we have a commercial builders division, and that's really focused on, what's happening in our community and how can we collaborate together, and also education opportunities and learning about what's going on. So one of the last meetings that we had, we brought in a number of schools from the area just to talk through, like, what are the schools doing to showcase construction and trades careers in the education system, and how can we support that? So that's one of the initiatives that the MRBA has this year, and it's actually going to kick off our beneficiary for Raw Fusion with starting a fund to support those schools.
Very cool. So let's talk about Raw Fusion. As you mentioned, it's a fashion show, but there's a unique twist. So for someone who hasn't attended, let's get into kind of what Raw Fusion is and what that unique twist is to the fashion show part of it.
Yeah, so it is a fun event. If you've never attended, it is a fashion show, but the twist is that the entries are all required to make something out of raw materials, raw building materials. And so you might see like siding. You might see construction, I don't know, just different construction materials, screens. I'm just trying
landscape
to think
fabric. I'm thinking of past entries.
Yeah, electrical wire. So it's just, I mean, I am just not that creative, but these outfits that are created are so amazing and just will blow you away, like when you see it. So this is our 11th year. The model entries are just amazing that we have so far this year. I'm so excited to see them on the stage, and it'll be a lot of fun.
And the outfits are created by local businesses.
Yes. So there's each entry has a sponsor, a local business sponsor, and they usually have a team of people that are working to create this entry, and then they have a model that'll wear the outfit that night, and there's a lot of probably adjusting and making making adjustments last minute, just because you don't really know how it's going to fit and move. And so we do have a rehearsal the night before so they can all practice and get a feel for what it's going to be like on the stage.
There's not a lot of sitting for the models.
Correct.
There's not a lot of anything. It's a lot of just standing still and hoping it all sticks together.
Yes. I have one person on the committee that's made a model for a number of years, and she's like, seriously, I'm at the end, I'm stapling things together or taping things together and hope it all sticks. So, but you would never be able to tell that by looking at the outfit.
It's such an amazing event. Let's talk about the history. So you said this is the 11th year, and it started as just a small event in the ballroom at the Civic Center.
Yeah, so Raw Fusion has definitely evolved over the years. The founders, there's 4 founders, they went to an event in the Twin Cities and came back and said, we want to do this event here, and approached the Minnesota River Builders Association to help them with it. And so they've been a core group that's been involved for a number of years. And, as they get older and they have kids and their lives get busier, they've started to step away. So we've brought in some new committee members this year, and they've really taken the reins and have, every year has been a different theme. So I remember going, I think I missed the first year, but I remember it was in the ballroom, and I heard a lot of great things about it. And then it started to just explode, and we moved it into the Civic Center arena for a number of years. And we saw upwards of like 1,200 people coming to that event. And then now it's in the Grand Hall of the Civic Center this year. And we're very excited. We're still expecting those big numbers. It's a great time out, and it always falls around my birthday, so I always make it my birthday,
your birthday party.
Yeah, a lot of people and a lot of fun.
So there has been some different iterations of Raw Fusion. Obviously, the pandemic ruined everything, and so there was a couple years that it didn't happen. And correct me, because I'm thinking this like out loud as I say it. Then there was the post office year, which was a different venue, smaller, kind of scaled down, which was amazing. Yeah. It was like that lightning in a bottle moment where the post office was not quite to construction yet, and just incredible.
Right. So the year that COVID started, we had planned it for May, and then we pushed it off to the fall, hoping we could still pull it off. And then it was horrible, but the state closed down again, so we canceled it.
It was like the day before.
Yeah, 3 days before the event, we had to cancel it, and it was horrible to do that and have to just tell everyone that we were heartbroken. Anyway, and then so the following year, we kind of watched to see what was happening with COVID. Yep. And that's when we decided to do it at the post office. And one of the reasons was because there were still COVID restrictions, and the city owns the Civic Center.
That's right.
And so there was just more COVID restrictions there. So we decided to hold it at the post office. It was the coolest venue, and just fit perfect for our 10th Raw Fusion that we were doing. And so it was a smaller, more intimate experience for Raw Fusion. And then this last year, we wanted to get back to like regular raw fusion, but wanted to get it back to spring. But so we transitioned with a spin-off called House of Raw, and just kind of did a Halloween type,
which was so cool.
Yeah. And did that last fall to get ready to go back into the spring. And now here we are with the 11th one.
Here we are, 11th one, and there's a very cool theme this year, and there's a reason for this theme.
Yes.
It fits in with something big that's happening in the state.
Yes. So we originally had it scheduled, I think, for May 13th, and we changed it to May 12th because we found out the governor's fishing opener was going to be held in Greater Mankato this year. And so when the committee got together, we talked about how could we tie it in with the fishing opener. If you're familiar with the governor's fishing opener at all, obviously usually the governor and some of the state dignitaries come to that, but it also brings in a ton of media. And the media really come because what they want to experience is what Greater Mankato has to offer. So the media comes in for 2 to 2.5 days. Visit Mankato, which I serve on the board of, we put together packages for them so they can experience Mankato on Friday and then do the governor's fishing opener on Saturday. And so we've invited all of the media to attend Raw Fusion. So hopefully we'll get a good turnout from media from around the state to experience this event. And that's the reason why we picked our theme, Land of 10,000 Lakes. We decided what better than to tie it in with the governor's fishing opener and showcase Minnesota.
Such a fun theme. And how many models are registered?
Right now we have 16, and we can take a few more models yet, but deadline is quickly approaching. So, but 16 is a great number because usually we don't want to go more than 20. It can get a little long then for the fashion show, but we're really excited about it. I've started to see the forms come in with what the models are doing and what their themes are, and it's going to be really great, and it's really going to showcase different areas of Minnesota, and I'm excited about it.
So I know people work so hard on these outfits. They implement these raw. It's one thing to create an outfit, but it's another to incorporate a theme, to incorporate raw building materials, to keep it all together on stage. And it's a high energy fashion show with lights and music and the whole thing, the big long runway. Yes. So with the new committee and the fishing opener and the theme, can you give us any sneak peeks or hints at any surprises or anything that we can expect this year on May 12th?
You can, when you think of Minnesota, think about some of the things that come to your mind. And if you look at our poster that we have, we have Paul Bunyan, and we have a loon, and we have, trees and lakes on the poster. So those are all maybe things that might be incorporated into some of the model entries that you'll see. There's going to be some unique things that I think people will be like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that. That kind of represents Minnesota. So you're going to see some of that. The committee has done a great job about designing what the room's going to look like. So you're going to see all aspects of Minnesota in the room when you walk into the room. So that's going to be a fun experience for the attendees to just kind of have some photo opportunities in different areas of the Grand Hall with what we've decorated with.
And that's one of the things that really sets this event apart, I think, from others as well, is it's an entire experience. Yes. It's not just the runway show, which is incredible, but the decor in the room is always transformed to fit the theme. And it's always been so cool. Do you have a favorite theme or a favorite, maybe not even theme, but just that night stands out? The outfits were great. The music was great.
Well, probably my favorite year was the rock year.
I loved that year too.
I know that was, but every year, and just because I haven't planned Raw Fusion for, the first 8 years, I wasn't part of the committee or anything. I just attended, but just the phenomenal decor of things. I remember the circus here. I remember the experience was amazing when you walked in the room, and so Candyland was gorgeous when you walked in the room, and so I can remember some of those experiences that I felt, and we're doing we're tying in everything Minnesota. Even Najwa's catering for the VIPs, everything is Minnesota related
Oh my gosh.
food. So they've done a great job with.
Is there a hot dish?
There is a hot dish. Yes, and there's walleye, and there's
Stop.
yes. And
That's great.
They have done a great job with planning the menu too for those VIP sponsors. So it's really exciting.
Is there still sponsorships available?
There is, where they're getting a little more limited, and my deadline is coming up this coming Wednesday. So if you are interested in sponsoring, you would want to contact the MRBA office as soon as possible, and we can talk about what we have left.
Cool. And there are awards, and I know these are coveted awards.
Yes.
All the businesses and the designers who are creating these outfits are, sometimes create them kind of with one award in mind, like this is the one we want to get. So let's talk about the awards and kind of that judging process.
Yeah, so we do have 4 judges that'll be present, and they do some pre-judging before the show, so they can talk to the models and the designers and learn more about what the outfit is made out of, what was their inspiration, and see them up close. And then the judges will also judge all the models during the runway show. So we have a number of different awards. We have Raw Factor, which is based on what kind of and how many like raw building materials that they use to create the outfit. We have Showstopper, which is kind of best of show. And then we have most wearable. So like what ensemble could you just wear out on the street?
Actually sit down in.
Yes, and sit down in, not worry about it falling apart. And then Star of the North is kind of our theme award. So that best represents the theme for the Land of 10,000 Lakes. And then we also have People's Choice. So everyone that's attending the event will be able to vote right there after the show, runway piece of the show. And we'll pick a winner based on a number of votes.
Judging raw fusion is no small feat.
Right.
I have done it before. It's high stress.
No, don't tell them. Well, I don't want my judges listening.
They'll be fine. You're going to be fine. It's amazing. But it's getting to see the outfits up close and hear about what the work that went into them and the elements that are involved. I mean, it just takes it to a whole new level.
Yes.
And it was actually awesome to judge it because I've attended every year. I've modeled and designed a couple of years. So to have that experience to actually get to be on the other side was super cool. And I loved it. And I'm grateful that I was given the opportunity, but it is really hard.
Yeah. And it's, and it's so hard because we'd love to be able to communicate to everybody in the audience, like what all went into preparing for each model entry. But, it's hard to do that. And I know, like, I remember after the show one year, I was talking to one of the models and looking at her outfit up close. And I was like, oh my gosh, if I would have known all these details in advance, I might have like voted for you. And, like, so I felt horrible, but I was like, it's just amazing what everyone comes up with and how they create it. And
the creativity is incredible.
It's incredible.
It's really, really cool. Yeah. So, tickets are on sale. It's at the Civic Center on May 12th. This is kind of one of those events that if you don't go afterwards, you're like, oh, I wish I would have been there. And I feel like this year is going to be super cool, bringing in that Minnesota element and seeing, what people's interpretation of our beautiful state is.
Yes. And tickets range from $50 to $100. So there's something hopefully for everybody's price point to attend. And you can purchase tickets through Ticketmaster. And like I said, it's just a fun night out. Doors will open at 7 p.m. to the public and the show starts at 8 p.m. It's Friday, May 12th. And, it's Mother's Day weekend too. So if you haven't gotten your mom a Mother's Day gift, this could be a great experience for her. So something to consider.
Absolutely. So Ticketmaster, you can find those tickets for Raw Fusion, Land of 10,000 Lakes theme this year, which is just absolutely so fun. This is going to support trades and construction education in our local schools, creating a fund to promote the trades, which is so important. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Kaaren?
No, I just maybe give a shout out to some of our sponsors
Yes.
here. So we have Paul Bunyan and the Blue Ox sponsors. And so we want to thank CCF Mortgage, the Habib Sadaka team, and Malter Mechanical, and Ross Tate Custom Welding. So they all have the VIP level and will have a great experience at the event. And then we have a number of other sponsors too. So check out our website, check out our Facebook page, Raw Fusion Fashion Show. You can find information there and see some past videos and pictures of Raw Fusion, and also get a link to purchase tickets.
Shameless plug, Apex has 2 models that we're very excited about.
Yes. You guys just submitted your form yesterday, and I was reading it this morning. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
We had a little bit of fun, as we tend to do. So we're super excited. 2 of our teammates were two of the original 4 founders of Raw Fusion. So I know they're looking forward to having a different experience for the first time ever.
Yes.
Since they've been so involved, to now have models and get to attend and view it from that perspective is pretty exciting for them.
It's kind of nice that they're there for a consulting role.
Yes.
So I've leaned on Jamie a couple of times, like, I can't find the judge's form. And, so she's been great. They've been great supporters of us as we transition the committee and give them a little break.
Absolutely. Well, we can't wait, Kaaren. Thank you so much for coming on. We'll see everyone at Raw Fusion Friday, May 12th at the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center.
Thank you.